Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good day everyone. I am Fatin Nadiera Binti Lahazir from SK Felda Kampung Serte, Bentong, Pahang. Today, I'll be sharing with all of you an action research that I had conducted during the pandemic entitled Developing Year 1 Pupils' Ability to Read CVC, consonant, vowel consonant words by using video modeling on YouTube. Here are the contents of my presentation for today. I'll start my presentation by sharing my initial reflection before I conducted the research, and then I'll talk about the research focus and also the research objective. After that, I'll explain in details who are the research participants and how the research had been implemented. Finally, I'll give few suggestions for further research. First of all, let me tell you a story of what happened in 2021. In early 2021, I don't have the chance to meet my year 1 pupils face-to-face due to the outbreak of COVID-19. As the pupils were learning online at home, I have no idea about their performance level at that moment. However, after several online classes, I started to notice that most of them are not able to read in English. When I asked them to submit their reading tasks on WhatsApp, they tend to repeat whatever their parents are saying instead of reading on their own. So, to confirm that assumption, I conducted a short survey with their parents, asking them about their children's literacy level. From that short survey, I discovered that majority of them, 77% of them, which is 23 out of 30 pupils, are not able to read even at word level. I think majority of them were having this problem due to the global pandemic. When they were in the kindergarten, when they were 6 years old, they skipped 54 days of school time as of October 2020, leaving them with little opportunity to develop their reading skills. So, the focus of this research is to improve the pupils' ability to read so that they won't be left behind compared to their other friends who are already capable to read. We don't want them to struggle trying to catch up with their friends in the future. To be precise, the objective of this research is to develop Year 1 pupils' ability to read CVC words using video modeling on YouTube. Now, let's look at the research participants. There are 23 research participants. 9 of them are boys and 14 of them are girls. They were 7 years old and they were in one Ibnu Sina. Out of 23 participants, 18 of them went to Kemas, 4 of them went to preschool, and another one went to Pasti. Now, let's look at the schedule of the research implementation. In order to conduct this research, I followed an action research model proposed by Camis and McTaggart. There are 5 stages in this research: reflect, plan, act, observe, and again reflect. At the beginning of the research, I reflected on my lessons and identified a problem faced by the pupils, which is inability to read at word level. In order to solve that problem, I planned an intervention called video modeling on YouTube, which I will further explain after this. After I have planned and prepared the intervention, I implemented the intervention for 4 weeks. After that, I observed the pupils' performance by collecting some data through videos, audios, interview with their parents, and also in-class observations once the school was opened on the 1st March 2021. And at the end of the cycle, at the end of the research, I reflect back on the research that had been conducted as a whole, analyze the data, and come out with a report. Now, let's look at the intervention that I have mentioned earlier. Video modeling via YouTube. What is video modeling? According to Buggy and Ogle 2012, video modeling is an approach where people learn a targeted skill by watching a video of others. I chose video modeling because Oak and Lee 2018 claimed that video modeling can help pupils with reading difficulty to improve their reading skills such as phonics, word recognition, and also fluency. So basically, I have planned and recorded 4 videos of myself modeling how to blend and read CVC words. And then I uploaded the videos on YouTube. Why YouTube? I chose YouTube because it is more accessible and it didn't take much space in the parent's phone. If you are interested to watch the videos that I have used throughout this research, you can go to YouTube and search for Teacher Fatin's collection. Once you have reached my YouTube channel, you can click on playlist. I have created a playlist entitled Phonics. You can watch all the 4 videos over there. And here are the screenshots of the 4 videos that I have uploaded. In the first video, I model on how to articulate letter sounds using action song and actions, using songs and action. It is vital for the pupils to know the letter sounds because it would help them to blend the phonemes and read the CVC words later on. Okay, so here is an example how I model on how to articulate the letter sounds. A is for apple, apple. B is for ball, ball. C is for cat, cat. D is for drum, drum. E is for elephant, elephant. F is for fish, fish. G is for gorilla, gorilla. H is for hat, hat. I is for igloo, igloo. Alright, so that's how I model how to articulate the letter sounds using a song and action. If you want to see more, please watch the video in the playlist. And then, the rest 3 videos, I model on how to blend phonemes and read CVC words using a successive blending technique. I don't use the usual blending technique like sound by sound or letter sounds because from my experience, it's quite difficult for pupils with reading difficulties to read the word as a whole when they blend using sound by sound or letter by letter blending technique. So in this intervention, I decided to use a successive blending technique. By using a successive blending technique, pupils are taught to blend the first 2 sounds, the initial sound and the middle sound. After they have blend this sound, they will combine this sound with the final sound. For example, t, te, combine the first 2 sounds first and then combine it with the last sound. P, t, te, p, tap, t, o, to, p, top, s, si, p, sit. Okay, by using a successive blending technique, it is easier for the pupils to restore the first 2 sounds that they have blended in their mental lexicon and combine that sound with the final sound and finally read the word as a whole. Alright? Now, let's look at the data that I have collected and analyzed. There are 3 types of data that I have collected and analyzed to enhance the validity of the data. Let's look at the first one, which is videos or audios. After the pupils have watched the videos on YouTube, I ask them to record an audio or video of themselves blending the CBC words, blending and reading the CBC words. Now, let's take a look or hear some of the audios and videos.
Si, pe, sip. Ne, pe, nep. Re, te, nep. Se, de, set.
From the audio just now, we can hear that that boy can blend and read almost all words correctly, but he misread one word. Mat. It should be mat. So from this audio, I learned that this boy still needed some guidance to ensure that he can read all CBC words independently. Now let's take a look another video.
Assalamualaikum, teacher. Good afternoon. Te, te, ge, te. Te, o, to, pe, to. Ke, o, ko, te, kot. Ke, i, chi, de, ki. Bye, teacher.
Alright, so from the video just now, we can see that that girl was able to read independently on her own. Now, let's take a look another two videos where guidance are needed.
Si, pe, sip. Ne, pe, nep. Me, te, met. Se, de, set.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, so from that video, we noticed that that girl needed minimal guidance at the beginning of the video in order to sound out one of the letter sounds. But the rest of it, she can blend and read on her own. Now let's look at the last video.
De,
G,
de,
G,
de,
T,
te.
K,
Ke, i,
Ki, Ki,
ki,
D,
de,
Ki.
ki.
Alright, so from this video, we can see that that girl is still struggling to read on her own. She still needs extra guidance from her mom. So from the videos and audios collected, I learned that most of the pupils are already able to read on their own, but some pupils are still struggling. Alright, and some pupils needed minimal guidance. And then I also collected some data through interviews with their parent through WhatsApp. So here are two examples of screenshots of the conversation between me and the parents. From the interviews, I noticed that some parents claim that their children can already read by watching the videos. But some parents also mention that their children can read but not that fluent yet. And there are also some parents who claim that their children can read, but sometimes they forgot to articulate certain sounds or they forgot how to sound out the sounds. And finally, in order to corroborate the first two data that I have collected, I also did ongoing in-class observations when the school was opened on the 1st March 2021. So from the observation, I noticed that most of the participants are confident, highly motivated, and they participated actively during the reading activities. Usually, if the pupils are not able to read, they tend to have low self-esteem and usually they refuse to take part during the reading activities. But most of the participants are enthusiastic and energetic throughout the reading activities. However, for a group of pupils who have not yet capable to read on their own, they tend to seek for my guidance from time to time. They will always ask for my help to guide them to blend and read the CBC words. One of the things that I noticed from my observation, one of the problem that lead to their problem not being able to read on their own is phonemes misrecognition. They cannot distinguish certain letter sounds. So from that time onwards, after I discovered that problem, I focus more on asking them to articulate the letter sounds by singing the action song that I have modeled just now, instead of focusing more on blending and reading the CVC words. So, in conclusion, from this research, I found that the use of video modeling on YouTube has a positive impact in developing Year 1 pupils' ability in reading CVC words. Majority of the participants, 83% of them, which is 19 out of 23 participants, were able to read on their own at the end of the research. However, there are still a minority of pupils, participants, 17% of them, which is 4 out of 23 participants, are still struggling to read on their own due to their inability to distinguish some letter sounds. And one of the participants, she has lisp. She is pale, so somehow that also affects her ability to blend and read CVC words on her own. So reflecting back on the whole research that I had conducted, I noticed few strengths and an area for improvement. The first strength that I discovered is the use of video modeling via YouTube allows parents to also learn how to blend phonemes and read. Usually, when we ask parents for help to guide their children at home, they would claim that they can't because they don't have the knowledge or the skills to teach their kids to read in English. So, with that videos provided, they can also learn from there and guide their children to read at home. And another strength in this research is pupils can rewatch the videos and learn whenever or wherever they want. For instance, if they are practicing reading at home and they forgot how to distinguish the letter sounds, how to articulate the letter sounds, or they forgot how to blend the phonemes, they can always go back to the videos, rewatch, relearn, and practice their reading at home. And one area that I wish to improve in the future is I should have given them a printed reading module during the intervention. If I provided them with a reading module during the intervention, probably they were able to read more words instead of relying solely on the words listed and modeled in the video. So for further research, I have two suggestions. The first one, for the group of students who were not able to read yet, I should explore another blending technique like onset and rhyme or word family to help them to read and improve their capability to read in the future. And for the second group of students who are already capable to read on their own, I should come up with more videos, modeling videos on how to read phrases or sentences level to further enhance their reading skills in the future. So those two are my suggestions for further research. That's all from me. Thank you.